In today's video, I'm going to continue my series on the benefits of being pill-free. Today's benefit, no more refills. Stay tuned, I think you'll enjoy it. Hello there everyone and welcome back to The Lovely Grind. My name is Michael Preby and my website's lovelygrind.com. I hope you'll please visit that site to find more information about my coaching and support options, the various online courses I've created, and the membership area I run. You might find those things very useful if you're going through the process of getting off of medications, working through a withdrawal and healing process. Also a lot of blog posts over there, so check out the website. And I thank you for checking out my YouTube channel in today's video, which continues my series about the benefits of being pill-free. Today's benefit, no more refills. Right? This might sound like a little thing, but the more I think about it, it's not such a little thing, and I'll explain. Now, just to recap, I was on Paxil and Xanax for more than a dozen years. First prescribed those for anxiety and panic in college, decided to get off of those around my mid-30s, went through a withdrawal process, and it was very, very difficult, but I'm so glad I kept going. Now I've been off the medications more than a decade, and the benefits continue to show themselves, and I never regret having made that decision to get off these medications and see the process through. So that's why I make these videos, to encourage and motivate those of you who are still in the process. And this particular series of videos, I hope, is very motivating. If you're tapering medications, it'll remind you of why you're doing it, what you have to look forward to. If you're already off the medications, but maybe still experiencing some symptoms and working through a healing process, this can remind you of the importance of what you're doing, some of the reasons why you did it, and what you indeed do still have to look forward to in the future as withdrawal symptoms begin to ease for you. So again, today's benefit, no refills. And it might sound like just a little thing, oh, a pesky refill, what's the big deal? You know, I just have to drive through the line at a Walgreens or whatever, or Walmart, pick up the prescription. Well, when I think back, and especially because I was on a benzo medication, I was obsessed with refills to some extent. I was very dependent on my refills. I was very dependent psychologically and physically on the benzo medication. I'd often take too much and run out early, so the refill process for me was extremely stressful, especially if I had to fabricate or concoct some reason why I might have run out of my prescription early again or whatever. And I hate to say it, but that did happen a couple of times. And I'll talk about one, I guess, in this video that sticks out in my mind. I can remember having taken all of my benzo medication, taking more than the recommended daily dosage or the prescribed daily dosage, which for me at the time was 4 milligrams. You think that would be enough for someone, but it wasn't for me at the time. I just felt like I couldn't keep the anxiety at bay, ran out early, and I remember going into the pharmacy after having probably made up some story about losing the medication on a trip somewhere or something, already feeling ashamed about that. And then I was in line at that pharmacy to pick up the early refill after all the finagling it took to get that. And the pharmacist took me aside in a not so private way, because there was other people, as you know, very, very close in some of those little pharmacies and lines. And she kind of chastised me about the whole thing, saying how this can't continue to happen. This is kind of a red flag situation, and so on and so forth. And I just felt lower than low and ashamed and angry at her for calling me out in public like that, angry at myself for being in the situation again. But tell you what, years later, in some respects, that kind of motivated me, because I was sick of living like that. And that might be an extreme example of why you'd like to get the process of refills out of your life. But there's more. It just seemed like I was always preoccupied with refills. You have to go to these doctor's visits. If you're like me, I wasn't seeing a psychiatrist. I was prescribed these meds just by a regular, family doctor. So I'd have to schedule these appointments every however many months, basically for the purpose of just getting my refill. I mean, they call it like a wellness checkup and this and that, but basically that's what it was about. Come take your blood pressure, maybe do a couple blood tests, chit chat for 3 minutes, say how are the medications working, should we just stay at the same level and fill them again, see you later. And some of you have maybe had that experience or worse with psychiatrists as well. I've heard some of you tell me that you call some of these people and it's like a 5 or 10 or 15 minute consultation, super expensive consultation, just for the purpose really of refilling meds. So it's a drug deal. I mean, that's basically what's going on. And after a while, the refills seem like a part of that, and it all feels a little seedy. And it's annoying, that preoccupation. Like, do I have the doctor's visit scheduled so I can get my refills? And what's the insurance covering right now? And is everything in order? And again, especially with the benzos, did I run out early again? That was a real motivating factor for me to get off the medications. Getting some of this stress out of my life, some of these preoccupations. And in fact, speaking of benzos and tapering, like I said, I was on 4 milligrams a day those last years on the benzos. That was my prescribed amount, but I was often taking more. So the first step in my plan to get off the medications was getting myself to just that 4 milligrams a day and not going over, not going over the prescribed amount. That was just kind of a stepping stone for me to then begin the rest of my taper. So if you're someone who's super dependent on the meds and kind of going up and down and all over the place on benzo doses, maybe that would be a good first goal, to get to a steady level where you're supposed to be at, and then kind of work up a taper plan from there. So the benefits to getting off of these medications are many, and that's what I'd like for you to continue to focus on, to encourage yourself and motivate yourself and remind yourself of why you're doing this. There's benefits that I'll mention. There's some that are probably very personal to you and only you know what they are, things that you're looking to improve in your life or move away from, complications that you want out of your life. So today's video, this topic, refills, again, it might seem like a small one, but it's really part of a bigger picture. And that bigger picture is just moving away from that whole system, not being beholden to that system of going to a doctor or psychiatrist for the purpose of tweaking medications or assessing medications, and having to then worry about refills and worry about the side effects and how that might lead to another medication that then needs refills. And again, things become so complicated. Getting off these medications is about simplifying things in a very, very good way, a very, very powerful way. And not having to worry about refills is just part of that. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope you go to lovelygrind.com, check out my coaching courses, my membership area, my blog posts. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you continue to do so again and again. Until next time, please remember to take care of yourself and your dreams.